Even though I had carved this pathway for myself since 16, I was like kind of questioning, should I have dropped out of college? This is the story about how I got my job at BuzzFeed. It's going to be kind of a long story time because a lot of things had to happen in order for me to get the job. In 2009, I was a tender age of 16 years old when I started MayaInTheMoment.com, a blog dedicated to sharing all things my creativity. I was a teen crafter, which means that I made DIY things. I was not good at that at all. So fast forward to about 18, 19 years old, still doing my videos. I was feeling great. Then I got my heart broken so bad. I would cry every single night in my room in a corner until one day my parents were like, no more of this. You need to stop. You need to heal your heart by giving love out to other people. Entonces, my mom and I had an idea to do a Love Songs for a Year series where I just sang love songs for a year. Around that time, Valentine's Day was approaching, and I'm like, you know what? Let's take this a step further and try to make some money. I then started singing and making customized love songs for couples on this website called Fiverr.com, where you did $5 services for people. I ended up making over 200 love songs for people, and everybody was so happy and nice, and I also made a lot of money, which was great. It actually caught the attention of several news outlets. One show in particular called Right This Minute. My aunt was a producer on there, and she shared my video and my story to everyone, and they brought me in to sing love songs for the hosts. And this is where I met Macy. Macy is the one who booked me on the show, and then a couple months later, she left Arizona to go to LA to work for a company called BuzzFeed. So immediately I hit her up and I was like, hey Macy girl, what are you doing over there at BuzzFeed? Are there any internships at BuzzFeed right now? She was like, actually, yes. Did you graduate college yet? And I'm like, no, I'm still going to school right now. And she's like, oh, well, you know what? Let me know when you graduate college and then we'll talk, all right? And that was a bummer because honestly, I was still sad from the breakup, and I thought getting out and moving to LA was gonna show that person and was gonna show everybody. But in the following year, 2013, a little application called Vine came out and graced us with its presence. Pour one out for the homie. Oh, gee. It allowed me to explore my creativity, to really define and develop my voice as a content creator or an influencer. I made a Disney-themed Vine that actually kind of went viral for its time.
And I was like, Mom, I'm 20 years old. I've outgrown a lot of things.
Listen to me.
After that, I caught the bug and started creating more, and eventually garnered over 100,000 followers on Vine. And I was like, whoa, I'm doing the thing. It was such an exciting time because I learned so much, not only in the creative area, but in the sense of like holding myself up as an entrepreneur and a brand, because it got me so many brand deals and it taught me how to build up brand relationships. And at this time, I was doing so much social media work that I didn't need college anymore. And this is a very interesting topic because I dropped out of college about my second year because I didn't need it anymore. It taught me nothing. All of the information was outdated. It was super expensive. Those were really magical times on Vine, and I am forever grateful that I was able to experience that with so many awesome people, but eventually it just slowed down, and my love for it, my creativity for it slowed down as well. I felt like I learned and created all that I needed to create during that time, and it was time to move on to bigger things. And I wanted to explore longer form content, which I hadn't explored at all because it was literally 6 seconds, which is a challenge. You should try it. When I got to YouTube, I wanted to try everything I could. So I tried to do some covers. I did some plus size hauls and try-ons that people kind of really liked. And then I did some like game stuff, and I tried everything, but I realized that I had a lot of these ideas but didn't have the tools or the skills to execute them. And I was kind of stuck. I didn't really have anything quite successful as that one vine. Even though I had carved this pathway for myself since 16, I was like kind of questioning, should I have dropped out of college? Do I need to reconfigure what this whole thing is? I knew that BuzzFeed would never happen for me because I didn't have a degree. I was gonna work towards getting my degree so that I can work at BuzzFeed. I contacted my old university again, and I set up all of these times to go in and, you know, start my admissions process. And I knew it was gonna take a long time for me to get my degree, and I felt like I was kind of giving up on my dreams, because even though I was super grateful to even have the means to go to school, I just felt like I was giving up, and it didn't sit right with me. But I knew in order to get to LA, in order to get to BuzzFeed, this is what I had to do. Literally after I had that first meeting, and I get chills because it's crazy. I get a message from Macy, who was still at BuzzFeed, and she was like, hey, would you be interested in possibly applying for a residency for BuzzFeed's Latino channel called Better Lake? Just apply, send in your resume, and someone will be in contact with you. I had such a confidence for my resume because from 2012, when I had talked to Macy first, to 2016, I worked all those years to build up my video resume, my brand work, my content, and I developed a brand, I developed a voice. I had sent off my resume, and I was like, you know, if this were to happen, this would be really cool. If it's not gonna happen, it's okay. I tried. I then got an email from Ella, as you guys all may know. She was like, hey, we saw your resume. Could you come in for an interview? And I'm like, oh, I'm in Arizona, so phone interview. So we did a phone interview. And it was literally a 5-minute phone conversation. And then the recruiter called and said that I got the job and said that I start in 2 weeks, which meant that I had to move my entire life to LA in 2 weeks. And I was so freaking excited because I did it. Look at me getting emotional. It happened. I was moving to LA, and I packed up all of my stuff. I said goodbye to my family, and I moved, and I didn't have any sort of like nervous feeling. Something in me was just like, it's time to go. Like, you were waiting for this moment. Here you go. I worked about 3.5 months as a resident, and then a couple months later, I got hired full time. Everything was just meant to be. I was meant to get my heart broken. I was meant to do those love songs. I was meant to discover Vine and to fall out of love with it. And then after that, I thought I had to basically give up videos and social media and just focus 100% on getting my degree so I can get to LA. But throughout those years, I never stopped. I never stopped making videos. I never stopped learning. I never stopped meeting people and creating. I truly believe it's like what Oprah says. Luck is when opportunity meets preparation, and I was prepared for the opportunity, which was BuzzFeed. Just be consistent and make sure that you're doing what you truly love to do, and you're not doing something because of the numbers or trying to get noticed, because it doesn't look genuine at all, and it doesn't feel good, because it's a magical feeling when you are able to do something that you love to do that also relates to people. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to... Oh no!